1340, 96.5 KVGC. Douglas Viviani of Everything Old is New again. Tonight, he and David Cohen anchor our evening programming with the show that takes a look at our pop culture, where it came from, and why it's still popular, and making radio fun again. Everything Old is New again, 6 o'clock tonight and tomorrow night. Douglas, I've got a question for you, and when is the 4th of July holiday going to be? Will it be the week before the 4th, or will it be the week after the 4th?
You're kidding. It's perfect in the summer, right in the middle of the week. It means everyone's going to take off Monday, and Tuesday is the day, right? I mean,
Wednesday's the day. Wednesday. Well,
Wednesday's the day. Sorry about that.
No, but here in Amador County, here in Jackson, the 3rd of July is our fireworks display. So we celebrate the 4th on the 3rd because we get the fireworks display cheaper than on the 4th.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that it's going to be on the 4th, and it's going to be a real light work week for people. You know, people are going to take off before and after, right? But I think you're only going to get off of work on the 4th, which makes it real tough.
Yeah, I one of our sales guys here asked for the 5th and 6th off, and I couldn't figure out, why is he asking for the 5th and 6th? So, yeah, okay. And then I actually realized that 4th of July falls on a Wednesday, so he's going to get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You know, it's a
Let's just say he's staying up late on the 4th of July.
It's a 5-day weekend. You know, one of my favorite things to do is after everyone is gone, after the parties are over, I turn on PBS and watch the fireworks from Washington, D.C. They have it every year, and I watch it every single year, and I really enjoy that. I
do the same thing right before that. If I recall, they do the New York City Macy's one maybe an hour before that. Is that possible?
Yeah.
And so we do that, and before that, we've got somebody in the neighborhood who's got some dispensation from the local police department. They know a lot of the officers, or something's happening there, because maybe, I don't know, 15 houses down, they're shooting off fireworks like lunatics out there, and a nice show. And so we set up chairs in the front yard and just kind of watch them from there.
Do you have neighborhood fireworks stands where you can buy, like, you know, Red Devil fireworks and that?
No, totally illegal in New York City, or New York, I should say.
Even like sparklers and that type of stuff?
You could get a sparkler for like a cake or to walk around with, I think.
Really?
But I've not even seen them for sale anywhere, so I can't even guarantee that.
Wow. You know, we have what are called safe and sane fireworks here in California. Red Devil brand. There's a Patriot brand. There's other brand. They don't leave the ground. They're not aerial, so they're like a fountain of sparks. You know, or like sparklers or noisemakers. Whee! But nothing leaves the ground, and they emit. Almost all of them say, emit a shower of colorful sparks. That's what almost all of them say on that.
No, everything is illegal in New York, but there's a huge, underground. People go into this place called South of the Border down in Carolina, I believe it is, and bring it back by carload, and you can get your hands on it. It's a good question. Can you buy fireworks on the internet now across state lines? I never even thought about that, because it's legal in some states, right?
I don't think, man. I tell you what, I wouldn't want to be the person to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a good idea. I mean, I stay away. We went to the Long Island Ducks game, which is a real minor league team around the block, and from us here, and they get about 5,000 people, 6,000 people in the stands. It's a nice event. They shot off a fireworks display the other night that was out of this world for about, I would say, just about 10 minutes long, with music in the stadium after the game. My kids, 6 and 9, had never seen fireworks before. They were in awe. I had to take pictures of them, their faces, looking at this. When you see a real good fireworks show, especially for the first time, I mean, it was over the top good. Leo was like, it's going to fall on us, and all this, and look at the colors, and he's looking, oh, there's a blue one. I mean, it's amazing what fireworks does to people. I don't know what, people stayed around for that game and were in their seats more than the game itself, but for the fireworks, I should say. They got their ice cream and whatever else during the game, and they did the bouncy tent, and, didn't pay attention to the game too much. Fireworks came around, everybody were in their seat, raptured. It's incredible.
My son Jake will be singing at the Sacramento River Cats, which is the San Francisco Giants farm team, and on the 30th, and
Nice.
there's a fireworks display after the game.
Now, is that in Sacramento
Yeah,
itself or a
yeah.
suburb or what?
Yep, Sacramento at Rayleigh Field, and that's that's where everybody goes to rehab before they go back to the Giants.
Is that AAA?
Yeah, oh yes. So you get to see some, like Hunter Pence has been down there. Madison Bumgarner was down there. Yeah, everybody that has to rehab for the Giants, goes there and then comes back to the team. So
Is it crazy to say that if he does a nice job there, that word could trickle up to the Giants or what?
it could. I mean, you can audition. You have to audition for them.
Okay.
And my cousin and her singing group, their a cappella group, they've done it for the Giants before. And, there's hundreds of people. How many home games are there? I mean,
81.
80, I was going to say 90, 81 home games. So you think about hundreds of people, and they have the auditions over a 2-week period, like a 2-weekend period. And you have a time slot. Your time slot is 8:45. Your time slot is 8:50. Your time slot is 8:55. And they do it like it's like a cattle call.
And do they bang out like 81? They choose 81 right then and there, or something
well,
like that?
no, they will choose them, and then a couple of weeks later, you'll get a call. Say, hey, congratulations, you're going to. This is his third time of doing it. So every time you do it, you get his first go round was like a Tuesday or Wednesday night game, something like that, and then he got a Friday game. Now he has a Saturday game, and those are like the big games.
Wear a big T-shirt with his website on it.
Everything old is new again.
Exactly. Sell the sponsorship, not a bad idea. Talk
There you
about
go.
singing. My brother and I went to Jones Beach. It's an outdoor theater with lots of big bands come in. I think it's about 12 to 15,000 people can see it in it. And we had Bret Michaels with Poison, Cheap Trick, which was pretty cool. Then the day after, last night, I went to go see Leonard Skinner with my daughter, my 9-year-old, which was her first concert, and her mouth was agape just like she was watching the fireworks. It was a scene, but very well behaved and a nice real good performance. So, I mean, it was an amazing beginning to the summer. All of this is coming together, summer concerts. Are there any that you're aware of that you would like to go see? Journey, Foreigner, ELO is coming out, REO Speedwagon, Styx. Talk about all the old ones. Rod Stewart, all the old bands are making the rounds one more
Here's
time.
one for you. Everybody's all excited. We've got Counting Crows coming to the Ironstone Amphitheater, which is over in Murphy's, California. And everybody's clamoring to get tickets for Counting Crows.
That should be fun. They're actually good in concert, really.
Yeah, but last weekend was Toby Keith was over at Ironstone. Joan Jett's going to be at the Jackson Rancheria, and Vogue's going to be at the Jackson. Here's one for you: the Isley Brothers and the Commodores. Now they were at the Jackson Rancheria a few months ago. They're going to be back at Ironstone a couple of weeks from now, maybe in July, and those tickets are going fast. The Isley Brothers and the Commodores, of course, without Lionel Richie.
Right.
My wife went and saw the concert and said that, it wasn't bad. I mean, the Commodores were not bad.
Well, this is what's happening now. We're getting, that's what's same as Foreigner and Journey for sure. Their lead singers have moved on. The remainder of the band, perform and play with a substitute or replacement. And, these shows are real good. It just, if you were talking to David Cohen, he would never go see any of these because it's not the original makeup. To me, listen, they're not going to be around forever. You're watching still a piece of, if you want to call it history, but more than that, they put on a show that if you like the music, what the heck? It's a great performance. It's a great show. Do you see around locally or even advertised, there's a lot of just bands now that are just tribute bands to all kind of bands from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So why not see what's remaining of these bands first,
Well, I beat Leonard Skinner up a few weeks back on this show, and I'll hold my peace on that one.
Right.
I did see Journey a at least I don't think quite 10 years ago, but Steve Perry had left, and they had just brought on the new singer who I think he might have been Korean. I'm not sure.
He's over the top with that voice.
He was it was like, hey, this is Steve Perry's kid, I think.
Exactly.
You know? I mean, he was fantastic. And
you're not going to get new music, but you're getting, especially Journey now is so popular, you're getting another generation of kids that are just, it was on Glee, and it's on all the Journey songs are almost everywhere now, commercials everywhere, and people are just loving that band. It's reincarnated. It's selling out like crazy. My question is, that's all tremendous. What about if you're 35 and under? What bands are there that you want to see? And
Douglas.
I'm talking about bands, not performers. And what bands will there be when they're in their 50s, 60s, and 70s?
Douglas, don't become your father. I'm serious. Just be careful what you say there. Oh, my God. My kids pull names of bands and songs out of their... You know where I'm talking about?
Yeah, but are they going to sell out 15,000 people?
Oh, yeah, they're like... it's crazy. There are bands that we don't even know about that are popular. And here's, again, this is kind of the digital revolution. I watched a real interesting series that was on A&E. It was about the 90s, and it started in the late 80s and ended just past the fall of the Twin Towers. Very interesting. The part about the internet and where we are today with Napster, how Napster started, and Netscape. Right. Remember Netscape?
Sure.
If you have a chance, look that up this weekend. It was on A&E, and I forget, it was something, the incredible 90s or the 90s, and it wasn't a hokey. It was pretty good. But these kids listen to stuff. They don't need a radio to listen to it. They can listen to them online. And, talking about Korea, this K-pop music is the biggest, is the big rage now. I never heard of it.
Right.
I don't even know. I went to an open mic night a couple of days ago, around Thursday night, here in Jackson, and these young kids are up there singing songs, and I don't even know who they are. And my youngest or my middle son Jake says, "Oh yeah, that's this guy, that's this guy, that's this guy, that's this." I guess it's my age, and we play quote unquote classic rock, and so I listen to the station most of the time. But to answer your question, yeah, there's plenty of new music out there. And I always laugh because JD, who's 36, my oldest son, I always say, well, JD, going to go see, someday Snoop Dogg doing the classics in person or, think about it.
Well, I hope so, because I want them to experience this, first of all, rock and roll, and experience the idea of a band that's got some longevity to it. That 2 or 3 people in the band at least, and they have some personality, and not just one hit wonders. I might be dated then, because my impression is a lot of just singers. A singer from Idol, a singer from The Voice, and those are the ones that they're promoting, and you hear music from. Even Taylor Swift, just one person, not putting it down, but I'm just putting it into the category of bands, if that makes sense, And I hope they have that. I would love to see a resurgence of that.
I ran into the saddest show the other night, and it was by mistake. It was just channel surfing, and then after I watched it the next day, there was a bunch of buzz about it. It was a documentary on David Cassidy, and his last recording session and so forth, and it was sad. I mean, it was like whoa.
All I know is that sort of towards the end, he was doing Vegas for a long while, and I think bankruptcy and money issues. Certainly health issues. I don't know that he even really ever really embraced his fame for the Partridge Family. Did he? Really
yeah, he did.
He
did, and he was just like everyone else. I mean, I don't want to. You have to watch the show to understand it, but yeah, and he was one of those guys that, hey, how come no one loves me anymore? But he did go to Broadway, and he did go to. Like you say, Vegas and all these other places. But in the end, his health, and he's trying to do a recording session, and it's so sad. And I've seen a lot of artists that are that way, and the last one I saw was Wayne Newton. Wayne Newton cannot sing, and the last time I saw him in concert, he was, looks great. Looks like he's 30 years old. Stand up. Hey, remember this one from 1962? This is the one that launched my career. Ready? Donka. And then as soon as he breaks into that, the band or backup singer starts singing, and he just kind of stands there, moves around. Yeah. All right. Remember this one? I want some red. Boom. And then everybody else starts singing. He's just standing there. It was bad.
The key to life, man. One of them. What do I know? Just some boob, but talking on the radio. But to give some advice. There's only one time in your life, or a short period of time, when you're at that peak. I don't care if you're 85 or 8, where you're hitting what you really want to be here to do, and hopefully it lasts a real long time. But as we've seen, so many careers and in everything, is a short period of time in life that you're doing what you absolutely love. So really appreciate it, and try to extend it as long as possible, especially in entertainment. The holy smokes, you're in one year, let's say, you're out the next, and to try to continue to make it work when it's not working. Good God love you, nothing wrong with that, but, appreciate it, That's the sad thing, is I think what ate David Cassidy alive is that he wasn't a cool guy when he was, and enjoying it when he was so popular. He was sort of like it's a long story, but wasn't really enjoying that time in his life. And then later on tried to recapture it later on,
And then you take someone like Wayne Newton, but then you have someone like Tony Bennett, who still has some pretty good pipes in his 90s.
Yeah.
Look at Rod Stewart.
Right, exactly.
I could listen to Rod Stewart, but Rod Stewart reinvented himself with those classic albums, singing the classics, singing the standards.
Lucky they are, and smart and intelligent to keep it going. Bret Michaels, who I don't love, I didn't think they have like 3 songs that I like, but that band on stage, for musicianship, for personality, he's talking in between every song. Sure. He's telling you what the song's about. He's thanking you for being there. He's bringing up servicemen. He has something to say. He's loving and enjoying it. It's infectious. So you really want them to come out with a great song that you love to enjoy. They have everything but the music, if that makes any sense. But he was just infectious in that you could see he still loves performing, and really that comes forward and comes out. So he seems to be a real happy guy.
Well, speaking of loving to enjoy it, or whatever you said there, what's up with tonight's show?
Well, tonight we're going to have, we all know that Infinity's War, the Avengers, came out a little ways back. I think it's made more money than any movie ever made. Of course, ticket prices are up, but still, it's blockbuster of blockbusters. So we're going to take a look at that, but we're not going to look at the Avengers and the comics and so forth. What we're going to do is take a different spin on it and take a look at movies made with multiple stars. That movie's got, believe it or not, 28 stars, people that have been either a star or a co-star in their own movie. Yeah. And so now we're saying to ourselves, can that be done? I sort of analogize it to a basketball team. If there's too many guys that should shoot the ball and no one's dribbling around and getting assists, can you win? So can you make movies with multiple stars and they be well done? Avengers was. We'll take a look at the history of this. Maybe have a quiz or two about. Maybe what I'll do is I'll mention stars of a movie and ask David to try to, because he's Mr. Trivia, we think, right? Besides yours truly, and see if we can come up with the name of a movie. And besides that, we'll do some behind the scenes of these multiple star movies, and how are these stars getting along? When the star used to be the one in every scene, and now he's in, or she is in, 3 of the 10 scenes. So we'll see.
We're running out of time, but what's the name of the movie with all those action stars in it? Sylvester Stallone.
Expendables.
There you go. Yes. Bring on another one of those tonight at 6:00. David Cohen and our good buddy Douglas Viviani host the show. Everything Old is New again. And again, Douglas, have a great show tonight, and we'll speak with you soon.
Thank you. Enjoy the 4th of July when that's coming up.